Well, hello and welcome everyone to the latest edition of the Ultimate Wellness Group Transformation Tuesday. Today is a special edition. This is the Ultimate Wellness Group Transformation Testimonial Tuesday. So we have some beautiful people that are brave and courageous enough to come in and tell you their stories, be vulnerable, and tell a little bit about themselves that typically is private for your benefit, right? This today is to give honor and credit, excuse me, to that man in that book, How to Eat to Live, which I think is the greatest health system that you could ever put your trust in. And this evening, we're going to discuss that. And you'll get to hear the testimony of those that made a decision to do the hard work, right? I want to be very clear that those who you will be listening tonight, they don't have any magic. They don't have anything that you don't have. I don't have any magic. I just have faith in this teaching. And that's what it takes sometimes when you are up against odds that may not necessarily be in your favor, so you think. But most of us say we believe in a God that is powerful and has the ability. And I say that because in a day like today, I think there'll probably be some compliments that I don't deserve, and maybe even some people give me some credit that I don't deserve. I think all the credit goes to the God that we serve. And I think it's appropriate to say that because if it wasn't for this book, How to Eat to Live, I may be a physician that would be trying to suggest that you get a vaccine, as crazy as that may sound. But I got to give credit to where credit is due that took me in the direction that I currently am in, right? So let's start appropriately. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. I further bear witness that God came in the person of Master Father Muhammad. Yes, God is a man, which means that he has superior knowledge and superior ability because he's got that type of knowledge in his head. And why would I come to that conclusion? Because we say and we believe that that man met with Master Father Muhammad for 3 years and 4 months. And when he came out of that 3 year and 4 month, I would say education cycle, true education cycle, he began showing and proving to the world that his ability and his knowledge was superior. We could just do a quick reality check and say that man taught Malcolm X, taught Muhammad Ali, taught Minister Louis Farrakhan, taught Warith Deen Muhammad, taught Martin Luther King, and we saw a change in him in his last 2 years on this earth. Taught Stokely Carmichael, who became Kwame Ture. That's a pretty amazing lineage right there that we just mentioned. And for a man not to have finished the 4th grade, he started the 4th grade and had to be pulled out of the 4th grade by his father because he had to help in the sharecropping fields. So that man, the one that left school in the 4th grade and didn't finish the 4th grade, taught me how to be a better physician, taught me through those books how to take what I had learned, use what was necessary, and get rid of that which did not really serve the benefit of those who trusted me. And so that's a pretty amazing story. That's a pretty amazing reality to have such a bearing of fruit. And there is no other example of a Black man being in America going to the 4th grade, high school, college, or anything else that produced that type of a lineage. And there's no other great man that we can study. Marcus Garvey, great one. There are many others that we could list right? That are great men and great women. But what was their legacy? What happened after they departed, or when they died? Did they have successors that proved that that person had some superior knowledge? It's not a put down on anybody. It's just talking about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And then look at the man who he has left in our company, our leader, our teacher, our guide, our friend, our counselor in these dark times, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And their names I greet you in the words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. I had to spend a little time on the Honorable Elijah Muhammad because tonight's show is a testimony of his teaching. And it would be only right that we spend a little time talking about the man that has produced the great testimonies that we're about to hear, okay? So I just want to say one thing, and then we're going to go ahead and bring in the first guest for this evening. I just wanted to say this. I don't know if you all have heard, but there is a lottery a chance to win a lottery if you get vaccinated in Ohio. And so I just wanted us to look at that, think about that for just a second and ask ourselves, does that make sense? If somebody really had something that was that good for you, right? If the vaccine is that good for you, would somebody have to trick you into taking it? I don't think they would, right? If we knew that something was good for us, you wouldn't have to try to get us to get a jab for some weed or get a jab for some chicken or get a jab for a lottery ticket or a jab for anything else. Brothers and sisters, we have to be very careful. We have to use our common sense in a time like this when there is so much propaganda, not a lot of news, but a lot of propaganda when it comes to these vaccines, okay? Damon X. Johnson, Darlene Muhammad, Gary X. Jackson. Wa alaikum salam to you all. Thank you very much for coming and joining the show. So we're going to go ahead and get right into the show. We're going to bring in our first guest, my sister. Her audio is connecting. Again, so for those that are just coming in, today is the Ultimate Wellness Group Transformation Testimonial Tuesday, where some guests are going to come in and talk about their wonderful experience with applying and striving towards applying How to Eat to Live if they have some type of an issue, problem, or a diagnosed problem that they were trying to work with and rid themselves of, right? So as I'm waiting for her audio to connect, my testimony, for those who have not heard it, was that I practiced medicine for 7 years. I was in the office one day talking to a lady who had about 14 medications. And my typical format was I would sit on one side of the examining table. The person would sit on the other, have a little conversation before I did the physical exam and those type of things. And when I was talking to her, she fell asleep. And I was extremely angry. I was cursing her out in my head. And then I kind of was coming up out of a nap myself. And so it was kind of a little disappointing that I would have such vitriol towards her when I was the one that was supposed to be the example. And so that day I went home, started reading How to Eat to Live, and the rest is history. My sister, how you doing? You got to come off of mute. You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Hi.
Hear you wonderfully. How are you? Wa alaikum salam.
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. No complaints. I appreciate you being brave and courageous and coming on the show this evening to talk about your reality. So how do you want to start? You want to start with how you met me and what we talked about, or what was our original meeting?
Oh, yeah. So how can I start this off? Well, I've actually been just, I guess, how can I say this? Just more interested in just changing my diet and my lifestyle, etc. I found out about you through my child's father. He watches your show a lot, so I became interested. So during the time I was watching your shows, I was pregnant. And after I had my son, I developed a thyroid issue after having him.
Yes.
When I found that out, of course, the first thing that they said was that I won't say the very first thing, but they did suggest medicine.
Yes.
For me to take to get my thyroid levels back normal. Also, as well, when after I had my son, I also caught COVID. So I just had a baby. Literally a couple of days after that, I caught COVID pneumonia. Right. And right after that, it was my thyroid, because I noticed that I wasn't gaining any weight. I'm like, I know I'm small. I've always been small, but I'm just too small. Like, what's going on? Right. This is just not normal. So that's when they told me that I had my thyroid issue. So at that point, I'm like, okay, I need to find a solution. And my biggest way of finding a solution is through foods. Like, I'm a big advocate in healing through your foods. Like, even when I was pregnant, like, they could not put me on any medicine. I didn't care what it was. I was like, well, I just try to find something to eat to help me get through the pregnancy. So when I got connected with you, I was happy. And I had already read How to Eat to Live, the book 1 and 2. But just was kind of, how can I say it? Just kind of confused on how I could go about it, seeing that I'm now nursing. I'm now nursing, and I can't fast, right, due to my situation and me nursing. So yeah, I have been basically what I've been doing more so is being more mindful, you know, just trying to relieve the stressors. Yes. So I try to take time in the morning when I do my morning prayers. And I'm also glad as well that I got introduced to the Nation of Islam, because now I'm more, how can I say this, more organized, more structured as far as my days. And then when I add the prayer, it just gives me so much peace. I just wanted to throw that in, because with doing Ramadan, it kind of got me to get more focus and have more of a schedule. So now I wake up, and in the time that I pray, I also add in some meditation and all that as well. And I noticed a big change. Like, I've been more calm. I've been okay. And I can tell in my body as well. Yes. Like, as far as like the pain and the aches and stuff. So yeah, it's been a journey, but I'm still going in. I'm still going and hanging in there. Yes, ma'am. So yeah.
Yeah. So that is not necessarily something that is common, brothers and sisters that are listening, but it is sometimes a reality that when a woman is pregnant, as you all have heard me say, it's a lot of work for a woman to produce a whole. Any of us that have seen a birth, even if you watch it on television or you've seen your own children come out, this woman that we're looking at, this amazing God that we call a woman, is producing a whole human, a little human inside of them. It's a lot of work. And sometimes a woman's body does suffer. And that's why when we hear the Quran mentioning a woman giving birth as travailing, right? That means a lot of pain, a lot of strife, a lot of stuff that the body has to go through. And thyroid issues sometimes are the result of that, because of all the metabolic changes that are going on in a woman. She's producing this baby, growing her breast to be able to feed this child. The pelvic um, cartilage starts to loosen up so that things can open up to allow that baby to pass through. These are not things that are just very easy for a body to go through. It's a lot of work. And so, I think it's, I think beautiful that you've had that experience. Now, I want us to touch on that. Like, I know that we had this connection when we talked because you were, I don't know what you were expecting. I can't say that, but I do know that we did have a connection on the food thing because you were already thinking in that format. So what was it like to hear me not suggest medication, not suggest this test, and not suggest a procedure, this or that, this or that? How did that, how would you explain that connection when you found that I wanted to just deal mostly with food and like some of the other things you talked about, some of the other modalities, the prayer, the meditation, things of that nature?
You know what? It was like, it's like I already had the answer. It's just like coming to you just confirmed everything of what I needed to do. It's like I knew that what I needed to address as far as what my body going through, what my mind is going through, what my spirit is going through, it's already there. And I know what I need to do, but I just need a confirmation. I just need something to confirm, just something to, push me to just go ahead and just do it. You're right. So when we talked and, at first I'm like, okay, he just told me to do the simple stuff, like do this and do that. Like, I'm just like I even told my child's father, I'm just like, man, like he didn't really, suggest nothing. I mean, everything that you had said I was already doing. Like I was already eating good for the most part. And but as far as with me, of course, you said add more foods because of me burning calories with breastfeeding and then my thyroid. That was just kind of the little thing. But it was just stuff that I was already doing. So when I came to you and we already talked, I'm like, man, thank you so much because you just confirmed it. And then I also got more in touch with myself, just getting more getting more cautious and aware of myself, being more mindful of my thoughts and the things that I was doing. Because man, pregnancy in itself is a lot. I was in labor for not 2 hours. I pushed my son, Lord, for 2 hours straight. And I was out of breath. Like I just wanted to give up. It was the pain, Lord. Oh gosh.
I don't know nothing about that.
So like, just how can I say this? Like right now where I'm at in my life is definitely uncomfortable. I'm not used to my body going through these many changes and then having to deal with my thyroid without taking medicine, trying to deal with the side effects of what comes with having certain health issues without taking medicine, and just trying to trust myself, trust Allah, and trust that the foods, especially that's in the book, How to Eat to Live 1 and 2, will help me get through my issue. I also noticed that throughout the months, because I had my son in December, it'll now be 5 months at the end of this month. My numbers have gone up with my thyroid. It's not where I want it to be, but I'm not rushing it because I know me and you talked and you was like, just be patient. Because I don't know how to be patient. I'm just like, I'm ready to get this over with. I'm ready to be normal again. So yeah, like when I met you, it was just a big confirmation, and like you kind of just was like, how can I say? It's like I felt like I really wasn't. I felt like I was talking. I feel like I knew you already, and you just was talking to me like a big brother. Like, listen, just do this. You'll be fine. Just relax, calm down. I'm like, you know what? Okay, let me just relax. Okay, so I've been doing that, and it's been really helpful. So like I'm blessed. I'm grateful to have met you. I'm grateful that we done had the time to talk and had a conversation. So yeah.
And it's amazing because what I believe I just heard you say is largely what I try to help just people understand. Like, um, well, two things come out of that. Number one is you stayed in control. You know what I mean? And that to me, I think was part of the confirmation is that when you were talking to me, I remember it was like about 4 or 5 times in our conversation when you said, "Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and that's what I was doing." And unfortunately, the doctors that delivered your baby and the doctors that you were going to see, they weren't confirming what you were saying. They weren't confirming the things that you knew was going on inside of you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And
Hmm.
unfortunately, that's the medical community, brothers and sisters. And that's why I always try to keep things realistic. But all in all, I want everybody to take out of this whatever you get, because all of us may get something different. But the thing that she always impressed me of was that she tried to stay in control. And unfortunately, even when you're in a system that's not made for you and you try to stay in control, they still have some effect. That
Mm.
system about pushing a medication and pushing a surgery or pushing this procedure will have an effect on you. And so it's like anything else in your life. If you get into a fight and somebody hits you with some pretty good punches, you
Mhm.
might have to take a couple of steps back and, kind of bounce around for a little bit, catch your breath, and then come back. But the reality is to stay in control. And I think that I'm saying that because I want to not only acknowledge that you were educated, and that's the reality is sometimes I get patients that don't really know anything about nutrition. They really don't know what to do to take care of themselves. And then I get people like yourself who have tried and are seeking and are educated to a certain degree. And so it's a partnership, no matter which one it is. But sometimes people need me more. And as she said, she got more confirmation. And so my last question to you, and then I'll let you say whatever you have to say. What was your confidence level like, or what kind of, I would say, where did your mind go when you started to, after we met and you got your confidence and then you went back and started putting in your work? I want to make that very clear. Everybody that's here today, they put in some work. No magic. And nothing happened because we raised some stick or Dr. Keeley got some magic. No, Dr. Keeley believes in that book.
Okay.
And these brothers and sisters worked hard at what they do. So what did that do for you? Once you got the confirmation, you kind of got a little confirmation that you were on the right path, you were making some good decisions, you were doing some good things. When you started seeing your numbers improve and you started seeing your I would say kind of your pre-pregnancy kind of feelings and those things that you were expecting to come back, when you started to see that come back around, what did that do for you, and how did it make you feel mentally and psychologically?
Um, Man, it did a lot for me. I think just overall, just like I said, pregnancy and going through it and the after effects of pregnancy is a lot. Me having to deal with my son and me having to make sure I'm on the right track with everything I'm doing. It's just a big shift. So once I got that confirmation from you, like, Angelica, you're on the right path, you're doing everything that you need to do. Maybe you just need to just be more consistent. Maybe you need to just work a little harder. So, like, because it was times where I couldn't get up and make me nothing to eat. Like, I didn't have the energy to do
Right.
it. Like, I would, like, nursing itself takes a lot of energy. Like, I'd
Yes.
be thirsty and hungry, and I just didn't have the energy to do it. But it came to that point, like, man, like, I do not want to be depending on, you know, I don't want to say that. I'm not gonna say that. I don't want to be dependent on other sources.
Right.
And I have the source.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I went ahead and I made sure I was consistent in making my bean soup every week. I've been consistent. I got my bean soup in there and just ate it before I got on the show. I've been doing that. Making sure that I do, go out. I go to the store and get the right type of foods as far as just the cook wise. Make sure I get up and give myself some me time. because
Yes.
I noticed that I didn't give myself none of that. And I haven't been giving myself none of that. So that kind of opened up a door to issues that I may have already had and didn't even get it resolved or didn't even acknowledge it at all. So like it's been great. Like I've been feeling way better about myself. I've been more confident. And what I noticed is that honestly, with me having my thyroid issue, um, and me changing the foods that I was eating, not saying I was eating bad, it was times there are certain foods that could cause side effects when you are having thyroid issues. And when I noticed that, I'm like, okay, let me cut that out. And since I cut that out, like my energy and how I've been feeling is so much better. Like my confidence and everything. So like it's been a real good help, real blessing. And it's crazy because it's just a simple stuff.
Right.
It's the simple things, you know. So I no matter what, I just know that also I just kept praying. I just keep praying. I keep talking to a lot of God. I just keep asking him to guide me
Yes.
and keep me strong through this because it's not easy at all. And especially when you, how can I say this, like if you want to put in the work, and sometimes it's hard to put in the work, but in order for you to get the results that you want to get, you have no choice. So
Yeah, it's the reality of life, and I think as you were talking, I'm just thinking that the Ultimate Wellness Group is going to have to grow a Angelica Waters guided maternal group. Just threw that out there real quick, right? No, I mean, seriously though, as you were talking, I'm thinking about the difficulty factor of a new mother in a pandemic that didn't have, and we talked about that, you didn't have the same structure that you would have probably had if we weren't in a pandemic. Not only because of the reality that we're living in, but because of your safety and the safety of your child. Things have to be different. And so this is the power of unity. This is the power, I'm talking about this ideology
yeah,
of having a support group, having, sisters that are going through the same thing, because we have to conclude, if we really understand what a mother and childbirth is, that is the greatest reality on the planet Earth. There is
yeah.
nothing that could be greater than that, producing the reality of the people that we see. And then the people go do everything else that we see on the earth, right? That's a blessing from God Himself. And so I think it was beautiful the way you put that, sister. That was amazing, the way you expressed that. And so I
Well,
pray
thank
that there's somebody out here, some pregnant young lady, or somebody that is nursing, or somebody that's realizing how difficult it is to raise a child, especially in those early days after pregnancy and the breastfeeding and the energy that it takes. You empowered somebody, Sister Angelica, and I really appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on the show, sharing that testimony. Brothers and sisters, I didn't, I and Aaliyah, my assistant, called everybody and asked them if they wanted to come to the show, but we didn't sit and script anything. I didn't tell them what I was going to ask them. I didn't tell them that they were limited to say this or that. This people come on and they have the freedom to say what they want to. But you see how Allah just used my sister, and I think that was beautiful what you said. Anything you want to say in closing as we move on to the next?
Yeah, I did want to mention because being pregnant during the pandemic was really really hard, was really strange,
Mm-hmm.
just with everything going on, and then you just wanting to protect you and your child, and with us, how can I say, well, with me knowing the truth when it comes to the hospitals and doctors and stuff, what I really really recommend is for mothers to do a home birth. Like if you can do a home birth, like please do it. I really wish I could have done that. I really think I got sick right after I left the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
wore my body down. Like I said, I lost a lot of weight. I was nursing and I was still nursing. I was nursing and sick. I had COVID pneumonia. and when I went to the hospital and they just looked at me like, oh, well, it's nothing we can do, just go home. And, I was discouraged. I had really, really high anxiety, and the pandemic is really giving a lot of what I noticed people anxiety.
Yes.
And to me, anxiety is just another form of fear. So, what I went ahead and did from that was, and still is just trying to keep my faith and keep going no matter what. Like, I have my days. I'm not perfect. I have my days. I have my moments. Sometimes I overthink. Like, I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. But I just wanted to say that you're not alone as far as any woman out here that's going through any kind of situation. You're not alone. So yeah. And I really appreciate you for allowing me to be on the show tonight to do my testimony.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I always say that people give me accolades, but what would I be if there wasn't somebody that did the hard work and did the actual reality to prove what I'm saying? Because I can talk all day, I can give information, but if a person doesn't do, then I'm really just rhetoric. I'm theory. You know what I mean? And so I appreciate you, sister, because you and I together are a team. And what I would like to say, and I'll talk to you just offline. I'm not going to put you on Front Street. But anybody that is listening or that may hear this program that is struggling in pregnancy or, breastfeeding or the postpartum reality, reach out. I got that thought as Sister Angelica was talking. I want to put together a pregnant mother and a nursing mother, postpartum mother support group together that is based in the teachings of that book, How to Eat to Live.
Yes,
because
that would be awesome.
Right now, the reality when you have a support group that has the same track of mind that you do, it makes it very easy. Doesn't mean everything's going to be all equal. Doesn't mean everybody's going to always agree. But if the foundation of it is the same, that support can be awesome. And so if anybody is interested, please reach out, 832-429-4576. And I'll put the number down in a few minutes in a place where you could see it again and write it down. But 832-429-4576, the Ultimate Wellness Group Mother Support Line. We're going to get it together. And maybe Sister Angelica will help me get that together and be one of the stewards of that thing for me.
Yes, sir. Yes,
we'll talk about it. Okay?
Blessing.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Well, thank you very much, my sister. And may God continue to bless you, continue to be that strength. You used the word, you said, I'm trying. Now, I think you're doing much better than trying. You're making it happen. And like you said, none of us are perfect. We fall, we get back up, right?
Yes.
We have a little stumble and we get our balance back. And so that's the reality of life. But I have, in my experience, been very impressed with your knowledge and very impressed with your will and your desire to do good. And it's that maternal giving spirit, that lack of selfishness, because you wanted the best for your child. So I think that's beautiful. And I learned from being a part of your journey. So praise be to Allah.
Yes, yes.
We'll talk soon.
Yes, thank you. Walaikum salam.
Walaikum salam. Okay, so we got people in the room waiting to come in. We're going to come one at a time. I don't want anybody on the screen all at the same time. So I pray that you all enjoyed that testimony. Let me see if there are any comments before we move on to the next person. Who came in? George Allen, Linda Muhammad, Leslie Starr Muhammad, Terry Hawkins, Junior Muhammad, and Catherine Muhammad. Walaikum salam. Terry says, thanks for keeping it 100. Yes, sir, my brother. I appreciate you giving me that shout out. I pray that as long as I'm breathing, I'm always going to do that. So our next person is Mr. Gregory Mitchell. Let's give him a moment to get his sound connected. And so for those who are just coming in, this is the Ultimate Wellness Group Transformation Tuesday, Testimonial Tuesday. I left that out. those who have worked hard and use this as a foundation to improve their health. Brother Gregory, how you doing? Can you hear me? Mr. Mitchell, can you hear me?
Can't hear.
I can hear you.
I can't hear you.
Try unmuting one more time for me.
Hello?
I can hear you. You can't hear me?
I can hear you. It's really low.
Okay. How about if I do that? Can you hear better then? Is that better?
Still pretty low. But you can hear me clear?
Yes, I can hear you clear. So go ahead and tell your testimony, my brother. Go ahead and say what, when we first got together, what were you dealing with? And then
Okay.
what was our interaction and what did you do? I mean, you're looking pretty shiny over there, bro. Look like you done gone back a few years, man. So go ahead and tell them the testimony.
Okay. About a little over a year ago, I was at my doctor's office, and she was telling me about the consequences of my high blood pressure. At the time, I was on 2 blood pressure medications and could not get my blood pressure to come down. My numbers were pretty high, something like 170 over 110, and that was on the medication.
Mm-hmm.
I had been trying to do different things, work with my diet to get my blood pressure together, and I just couldn't get it right. I noticed right around March, maybe of last year, I noticed a couple of your videos on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
And I just started watching some of your videos. And eventually I reached out and set up a one-on-one appointment with you because I knew I needed to get my blood pressure together. And what I did was, in our meeting, you talked a lot about diet, nutrition. I tried to get you to give me some herbs or something that I could take that might be pretty good.
Uh-huh.
And you said I should really look at my diet. And you directed me to watch your video, Ultimate Vegetarianism, No Supplementation Needed. That was one of them.
Yes.
And you talked to me a little bit more about navy beans and the health benefits of navy beans. I was trying at the time to do 1 meal a day. I would get weak, wouldn't always follow through. And you also talked to me about the minister's message, Building the Will.
Yes.
And I started watching that. And you would talk a lot about working hard on your health and just believing in Allah and doing what you need to do. And so I started with How to Eat to Live. I started doing better with 1 meal a day, focusing on the navy beans. You talked to me about the organic fruits and vegetables. So I definitely started to incorporate that, and I incorporated organic avocados, apples, even bananas. And immediately I started to lose, I lost some weight, but at the time, my blood pressure numbers started to normalize. And I remember how high my numbers were. And you said that I can't expect to go from 170 to 120. It's going to take time. It's going to be a gradual process.
Yes.
And what I noticed was that it was a gradual decline in my blood pressure once I got more serious and started paying more attention with the navy beans and really getting stronger.
Hold on just a second. You said when you got what? Got more serious?
Yeah, I got more serious.
I just wanted y'all to hear that out there. Now, my brother has been working hard. He did put in a lot of good work, and he's going to tell you what his blood pressures were. I mean,
And
what his blood pressures are. But I want everybody to concentrate on what he said. He got serious, and he was working hard, brothers and sisters. So there's no magic in this, right? I just wanted to clarify that point. Go ahead, bro.
And so, again, a few things would stick out to me. The times we did talk, when we talked one-on-one, and when I watched the videos, you would definitely harp on being serious about your health, our health, and not playing with it, and really making the decision to put the time in and to put the work in.
Yes.
Well, at the time, I was on 2 blood pressure medications. Last June, due to COVID, I lost my job, and I was no longer able to even get my medication, my blood pressure medication. I was really concerned. But instead of going out looking for an alternative way to get medication, I stayed with How to Eat to Live. And I think I sent you a text message because I had some really good readings not that long ago.
That's right.
I had something like 119 over 71,
Yes.
120 over 68.
Yes.
And I was doing that without the medication.
That's right.
I wasn't taking any medication at the time, and I was getting those readings. Today, I took my blood pressure today. It's a little higher, it's 128 over 76.
That's beautiful.
And I know what to do. I know what to do, and I know how serious it is, but it's good that I know that if I do what I need to do, if I develop the discipline and stay consistent, I don't have a problem with blood pressure. I wanted to squeeze in, I know we don't have a lot of time, I want to also squeeze in, I contacted you another time as it related to my prostate.
Yes.
And my PSA levels, prostate specific antigen levels. I had a score, my score went up for some reason.
Yes.
I went to the doctor. This was kind of around the same time, but I had a score of 8.4.
Yes.
In terms of my PSA, and I was really, really concerned. And we talked, and the reality was that a lot of the things that help to improve the blood pressure were the same things that would help the prostate.
Yes.
Maybe 2 to 3 months after we talked, I didn't have a chance to reach out to you, but I went back and my PSA score had came down 3 points to like 5.6, I believe. Yes. So it went from 8.4 almost to 5.6.
Yes.
And I know that if I continue, it's going to come down even lower.
Yes.
Just like if I continue, my blood pressure is just going to constantly be somewhere 118 over 70, like you mentioned. So both of those successes worked out for me, and they came about by one, listening, but then two, believing, and then putting it into practice, having the discipline to put it into practice.
Yes. And I just want to remind everybody, Brother Mitchell said that it was about a year. And so again, with Sister Angelica, you heard her say that I told her to have some patience. And with my brother, it was the same thing. You know, when he first came and his blood pressure was those numbers he told you, like he said, he was on 2 medications, on medication, and your blood pressure high. How many of you that are listening tonight have some issues like that? You see what I mean? And the thing about the human body is that there are similarities and there's some differences. And so there is some benefit to having somebody on your team to help you. I'm not trying to promote myself. I'm just saying that there is a way to look at everything that's going on in the body. And as I told Mr. Mitchell, and I tell everybody that allows me to be a part of their team, that the God that we serve, the one who put these bodies together, has already put a system in place for it to heal. And so when we start going in the right direction, the body knows what to prioritize. You see? So if a person has a stomach problem and a blood pressure problem and something going on in their brain and something going on in their prostate and something going on in their uterus or in their muscles, the body knows which of those problems needs to be solved before the other one. We just have to get consistent. We have to be full of belief, because that's the thing that I think you're hearing common into 2 stories, and you're probably going to continue to hear that common thread through the rest of the stories, is that they believed. I believe. That's the reason why I'm suggesting what I'm suggesting to them. Otherwise, I'd be writing prescriptions like these other people. But they believed. And I remember the first 2 conversations we had, Brother Gregory, and you were way out there. You know what I mean? I'm sure you don't mind me saying that. You were doing some things that were not good for your health. But the good thing was that you took the counsel and you started changing. And every time we visited, you were making progress. And I always tell people, you can't lie, because I'm too experienced in this. I've been doing this long enough to know. And we can also go and listen to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, How to Eat to Live. He said that some of you tell me that you're not getting the benefits as I am describing him in this book, but you don't think that I know, I'm paraphrasing, that you're not following it as I've told you to. And so this works, brothers and sisters. And that's why we're having the show tonight. This is not about Dr. Keeley. This is about bearing witness to a man that has the best health plan on the planet Earth. And that's why for the last year and a few months, we've been watching a health system go crazy, show that they don't have any answers, and they're completely baffled by what's going on. But here today, you are hearing a pregnancy thyroid issue, and now a blood pressure problem with prostate. Look at how Allah works. Because how many Black men are dealing with blood pressure problems and prostate problems, and how many women are dealing with pregnancy and thyroid problems? I didn't decide for those to happen like that way, but we serve a mighty God. So, brother, I thank you. Have anything else you want to say in closing?
Yes, thank you. All praises due to Allah.
Yes, sir. And thank you for your hard work, brother. And we'll be in touch, because I
Yes,
need a
sir.
copy of that prostate exam test.
Yes,
Okay?
sir.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
brother. You take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay. Alaikum salam.
2 wonderful, wonderful testimonies, y'all. So here we go to the next one. We got another beautiful guest coming in. Sister Sharon V. I haven't forgot about you. Coming to you next. You're on mute. There we go.
Okay.
How are you
So
this evening?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Good.
Greetings to you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you. It's kind of dark. I don't have all the light here.
That's okay. You look okay. I can see you well.
Okay, all right.
I'm thankful because I know you are a shy person. You don't really want to be all in the front of the limelight and all that, but you came on in here anyway. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
You call me a shy person?
Well, I think you have a couple of shy tendencies. I'm not saying you're a shy person, but you.
Yeah, no, I do. I do. I
You?
do.
Okay.
And
so
I
was right,
sing.
right?
I sing. I'm a performer, right? It's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand that one, but that's the
Me
way
and
it is
Michael-
sometimes, huh?
Me and Michael Jackson, may he rest in peace.
Right. So tell us a little bit about what you came to, how did we first meet and what was the story behind us first coming together?
Well, I purchased the books How to Eat to Live in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And I read not all of it, but I read most of the first book. And I started just researching anything I could find that talked about how to eat to live. I saw some of the ministers' videos, and I came across one of yours at that time. And I know I just kept going back just to find more information. And I don't even remember when I found the YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know I was searching hard, like, what else can I find? What else can I find? And then I started watching your YouTube videos. And then when the book club came up, and that was the 2 books that we were going to read, I'm like, I'm in, because I want to finish them. I need more, clarification as I go on. And that's how that started.
Yes. I know you used to always ask some good questions too, because I remember when you first started coming on and asking those questions, and I would say, wow, those are good questions. So yeah, that was good. Now I wanna go here, and then we're gonna come back to the physical health. What
Okay.
religion do you practice?
Presently,
Yes.
I'm now attending Baptist. I was born Baptist. I went through Catholicism, Buddhism. I think those are only 2 that I actually joined.
Yes.
And now I'm back to going to a Baptist church.
So what would be your response to a person that says, oh, that the Muslims and Christians shouldn't get together and we should be in our separate things and we can't get along? What would be your response to somebody that would say something of that nature?
I feel that I can, first of all, titles separate. Truth is truth. This is what I've always said. Truth is truth. And where I can get it from is going to have my attention. So I don't, I guess they say dogma or, whatever. I just don't think there should be a separation.
Yes.
I understand maybe from you why, maybe I don't understand, but I know that there is. But for me, I just, a seeker of truth and helping me from what I read and study, help me, comprehend that and how to apply it in my life.
Yes.
Um,
And I'm sure there may be some people that are wondering, why did I ask her that question? Because we're here to talk about Testimony Transformation Tuesday. Well, it's because Miss Hope and I had a couple of conversations about that. And she was talking about her being a Christian and how Minister Farrakhan, she had heard some of his lectures over the years, and she really thought that they helped her. And it didn't interfere, it didn't contradict anything that she believed. She could listen to them and then go right back to her Bible, right back to church, and sometimes even see more depth into what she was practicing, what she heard in the church, and what she had learned over the years in the church. And so I just wanted to mention that because I think this is just another good example of tearing down boundaries that divide us. Of course, we all should have some boundaries in our life. That's natural. But in this country, Black people especially have allowed other people to put boundaries on us, and we maintain them out of fear. We maintain them out of ignorance. But beautiful things can happen when we put those things that separate us down, or at least we try to have an open mind and gather more information to make us better people. So that's the reason why I did it. I hope everybody appreciates that.
Okay.
So go ahead and tell me a little bit about our first meeting, and then what did we start doing together?
The first meeting I contacted you.
Yes.
It was right. I think it was during shingles. I had shingles.
Yes.
And I, started reading, like if you have shingles, that means your immune system is weak. And which was like, this was last year. And the virus started, at that time. And I'm like, I need to strengthen my immune system because obviously this is what my body is telling me.
Yes.
So I contacted you. And the first thing we did, we talked. Well, actually, you led with prayer, which got me. I'm like, okay, I'm in the right place.
Praise be to Allah.
Um,
Got to start with the God. He's the one in control.
Yes. It just brings everything into focus. It's just a beautiful way, and I try to lead that way too. My life. So going back, so we talked, and the first thing you told me to do, you wanted me to keep a diary of what I'm eating. And I did that. I think I did maybe about a month. I know we talked about my diet twice.
Yes.
You suggested things like the sea salt water. I was doing navy beans on and off since 2017 and hearing the minister talk about navy beans and I don't know, I think maybe you did in one of your videos. So I was doing that, but not as consistent. And then I caught the show, maybe that was after with Tariq Muhammad explaining the navy bean. So we talked about that. So I started incorporating that more into my diet. Adding more fruit. I'm not big on fruit. I'm better at fruit.
Yes.
Just being more conscious of choosing healthy first. So that's what, so we did that, the first session. And I think maybe 2 weeks later, or maybe a little longer, I sent another diary of my food diary and just got feedback on that. And I've been implementing, I tune into you all the time. I'm still a good searcher on.
Big supporter.
Okay, yes. Like what else can I, and I feel that helps me a lot stay on point, and I need that reinforcement, just to stay on point.
Yes, ma'am. So what kind of benefits have you had since you've been putting in all that hard work?
Well, I've lost about 20 pounds, which is good because
now you weren't concentrating on gaining weight. That wasn't the reason.
No,
right?
that was not it. No,
that was just a byproduct of doing some good things.
Yes.
Did y'all hear that? All of you out there that are overweight, that want to lose weight, when you come and see Dr. Akili, we're not going to concentrate on your weight.
Right.
We're going to concentrate on you learning, understanding, and implementing things that will improve the health of your body. Weight is a byproduct of bad activity. So if you come to me, that's going to be the philosophy. We're not going to concentrate on weight. So come on and get that weight off.
And implementing those things, I've had to ask you like, okay, am I losing too much? But I feel good, I'm not tired or anything. But outside, I guess I mentioned the weight first because I'm sure it has a lot to do with joint pain that I was having. And that was really that bothered me.
Yes.
I have stairs in my house and, going up the stairs, it was really bad. My knees are hurting.
Yes.
And
I dealing with those children, those beautiful children that you work with. Yeah.
I was about to say, I'm dealing with the preschoolers.
Yeah.
So not, and riding in the car, like I have to sit. I used to sit for, 3 minutes or so before I get myself together. Once I get out the car, I had to stand because my legs, they weren't ready, So I feel that a lot less now. We did talk about exercise, which, I'm a believer of exercise. Finding the time is a challenge, but, I try to get out there, incorporating the sunshine, understanding that vitamin D, the sun doesn't give you vitamin D, but it pulls it activates the vitamin D that you have. Is that correct?
Yes.
So
That's the
very
way I
important.
learned it. There are some other people that say you can actually get it from the sun, but my understanding is you got to eat it,
Right.
and that sun activates it. Yes.
Which makes more sense to me. Yeah. But anyway, and what else we talked?
Well, that is that's beautiful within itself, because I know that we have had quite a few conversations, and sometimes it's little things, but you just mentioned some of the big things.
Oh, one
And
more, the blood
yes,
pressure.
yeah, that's
Blood
all I was about to
pressure.
mention. Yes.
I'm working towards not taking medication. However, you said my numbers are good, so that, that's the one thing that I'm still working on.
And say that for me one more time. You're trying to do what with those blood pressure medicines?
I'm trying to get rid of those blood pressure medications.
For all of you people out there suffering with high blood pressure, you weren't born with medication. You didn't have medication most of your life. So yes, it is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Got to work hard though.
Right. So that's, ongoing, working with that. And also, and it's hard. Dr. Keeley even helped me how to talk to my doctor about it.
Yes.
So that, gave me some pointers on how to, say like, can you take me off of this? Because I know through the years, my doctors haven't really been, open to hearing anything outside of the prescription pad,
Yeah.
And writing a prescription. So.
And sometimes they can have some real fragile egos, brothers and sisters, and it's important. We talked, and our conversations were about how to address somebody who is in control. I mean, sometimes we have to be smart enough to know that we could take a little skill, right? A little finagling, whatever word we want to use. But if a person is wrapped up, and I'm telling you all from my personal experience with friends that I went to medical school with, everything about their self-esteem, everything about who they think they are is wrapped up in them being a doctor. And the reality is that may not necessarily be a bad thing, but if you go into a doctor's office and they're like that, and you question them in a way that challenges them, sometimes you will get a negative response. And so sometimes it is a better way to go about it, and to always make sure that you stay in control, but sometimes you make them think they're in control.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad thing. And that's probably, I shouldn't say probably, that's what we talked about, because I always talk about, as you all hear me talk, staying in control. This is your health. There should never be a person that has more control over your health than you. But that means that you have to have confidence, that you have to be educated to some degree. And then you also have to have a true faith to stand on what it is that is doing you well, and not let anybody talk you out of it when you have the signs, right? So tell me, what was your confidence like? What did it do for the whole process? Like when we first started and you start seeing some of these things improve, what did that do for you mentally, physically, and emotionally, psychologically, and what did it do for your confidence?
It motivates me more because I am seeing improvements. I want to say it's helped my, like the navy bean is my staple.
Mm-hmm.
So I build everything around that. And it has brought such a calm, with me planning what I'm going to eat, and knowing that after I'm done, I'm fulfilled.
Yes.
So because I've tried green smoothies, all over the place, but it's really bringing me all, together, calmer, and seeing the benefits that I'm seeing, it makes me happy. My confidence is growing. And I wasn't before talking to you, I had questions, but, not getting answers that helped or put my mind at ease.
Praise to Allah.
Yeah, I think that's, putting my mind at ease.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Well, thank you so much. You have anything else you want to say in closing?
whatever Dr. Key, listen to him. Keep plugging in.
Yes.
It's very important, to stay connected. I see the benefits. Oh, I want to say too, digestive issues. Every now and then I have them, not as much as I have been.
Mhm.
So definitely just stay with the program and keep tuning in.
Well, thank you for that plug. She just gave me a plug. Tune in to the Ultimate Wellness Group, y'all. You heard her.
That's right.
She's a very kind, nice, beautiful woman, but she's telling y'all what to do.
Yes.
Tune in.
Tune in.
The Ultimate Wellness Group on Facebook and the Ultimate Wellness Group on YouTube. All right, Miss Purcell Hope, thank you very much. I appreciate your testimony. The shy one has come and she has spoken, y'all. Take care. We'll talk soon. Okay.
All right.
Let me give a couple shout outs and we're going to come to our last one. Don't go nowhere, Sister Sharon. I'm coming. Let me see who we got here. I saw my man, John Bettison. Thank you for coming in, my brother. Linda Nzinga, Allison Muhammad. That's a sister that got some serious stuff for y'all. Catherine Muhammad, thank you for the question. I see Aaliyah answered it. Priscilla B. Timmons, thank you for coming in. Greetings. Eunice Johnson, peace and blessings. My brother, Roderick Barnes, what's going on, bro? Appreciate you coming in, man. All right, let's get to you, Miss Sharon V. Hold on just a second. Okay, here we go. Brother Eric, if you're still out there, bro, come on in. I'm gonna be with you in just a few minutes. Okay, let's come off of mute and we'll be ready. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
How are you doing?
Doing great. All praises to you.
Look at all prophetess like over there. The 125 Young Journey Group. I see.
Oh, yes. So, yes.
Praise be to Allah.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. All praises due to Allah, sir.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're not going to belabor the point. We're going to get straight into it. Go ahead and tell us why and how you wound up coming to little Dr. Akili.
Yes, sir. A sister of mine, good friend, Sister Leroya Muhammad, kept pressing over the summer to go see Dr. Achilles. And I said, okay, I'm going to send my daughter to go see him. I think she needs more help. But in December, something just happened. And I just got the notion that, hey, I think you need Dr. Achilles a lot more right now. And so I called and made an appointment. And our first visit was January 4th.
January 4th, 2021, right?
2021.
2021.
Yes, sir.
In the middle of a pandemic.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
So where were you? I remember, but I want you to say it. Where were you, like, not just from the perspective of what you were dealing with, but just in general, how would you describe where you were with your health and where you were at that point and what was going on mentally, psychologically, with where you were at that time?
Well, I over my life time, I've had 10 surgeries. I've had breast cancer, chemotherapy. I suffered from type 2 diabetes. I never really suffered from high blood pressure, but those were the things I were going through. And mentally, I didn't know where I was until you put me on that diet and asked me to write everything down daily.
Yes.
And then I realized that my greatest suffering was from that point of view, in the mental, more so than even the physical, though I had been through a lot.
Yeah. It's one thing I will say, brothers, just when you come to me, sometimes I ask everybody to do a exercise in getting me actual facts, right? And I'm saying this because I believe this is part of the empowerment that everybody that is in a place where they need somebody to help them with their healing or health journey, you have to always gather actual facts.
Right.
I have sat with many, many, many people over the years on a Thursday or a Friday and asked that person, what did they eat on Monday? And they don't remember. And it's not that they have a memory problem. It's just that we're sometimes so busy in life, so many things going on. Our minds are inundated with some other problem when we're at work, or some other problem when we're sitting at the dinner table, or some other problem when we're dealing with something else. And so we're never really in the moment of where we should be. And so I always ask for actual facts. And sometimes that could be your medical records, that's a food diary, an activity diary, a skin diary. It depends on what you're dealing with, but it'll be some type of actual fact gathering, because it would be a lie for me to sit and say that I could have a cookie cutter plan for everybody that comes to me. No, the plan is based on the information that I get from you. Otherwise, I'm just talking. And sometimes at the beginning, we do just talk theory, or we talk basic concepts, but it always takes actual facts. And I'm saying that because those of you who are still going to doctors that do prescribing, it's important that you stay in control, because typically around the country, they have about 7 minutes. And if you walk in and just like Sister Sharon just mentioned those different things, how can somebody really listen to you and be out of the room on to the next patient in 7 minutes? See, when you get an hour with Dr. Akili, you get an hour with Dr. Akili. It's a difference.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm not gonna lie, I was so upset with you. I was like, wait a minute now. I just started one meal a day and got to my bean soup, and he asked me to cut that out. So he needs to know, how I get the way I am. I was like,
Yes.
oh my God. And then at the end of it, it was very profound for me to be able to give my diet daily, very honestly, and say what was on my mind. And then I realized that, wow, Sharon, you are really stressed. You are stressed to the,
Yes.
it's no wonder you don't have high blood pressure with all the stress that I had on me. And then I put on 11 pounds. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to kill myself and put on 11 more pounds. I don't need that, but all praises due to Allah. I mean, my testament has been amazing since we've met, since I became a patient of yours. And I have to say, each time we had a session, it just brought more and more out. And the one thing I said to you was, you know what, Dr. Kelly, I'm not going to concentrate. You just said this, on weight no more.
Yes.
I'm off of it. I don't even want to even talk about it, discuss it. I don't want to do it. Right. And I said, I'm going to come upstairs and I'm going to concentrate on my mind and on my ability to get rid of the stress in my life and the different things, and try and make a connection with the God power. And it has worked.
Yes.
Tremendously. Yeah.
Those have been, there have been some really, really, I will have to say, some really powerfully spiritual meetings that you and I have had.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I think anytime two people are serious and they sit down, there is a spiritual connection there. But I'm literally talking about, and I'm talking to you brothers and sisters at this point, when I listen to some of the, I would say, conclusions that Sister Sharon has come to. And again, this is not about me. This is her taking the time to evaluate herself. This is her taking time to look at some things that she has maybe thought about for all of her life, or 10 years, 20 years, whatever it is. But
Absolutely.
I think you all heard Sister Angelica at the beginning say the same thing. She got connected with some things that were just confirmations. And, you know, I can't say that that's me. That's when two people are serious, when two or more are gathered in my name, there will my spirit be. And like Sister
Absolutely.
Etta Hope Purcell just said, we pray. I pray before every visit because I want the person that is trusting in me to know where I'm putting my trust. Because Dr. Akili wasn't this type of physician when he first came out of school. He was arrogant. He felt that what he had learned was it. There was nobody better. This was the best way. And now most of that has been thrown away. So obviously there was arrogance in something that didn't make any sense. But this book, How to Eat to Live, is what changed my life. And it says from God in person. And that's what I believe. And so that's where we started.
Yes.
And so what other, what kind of type of benefits have you seen other than those mental and spiritual ones?
I got to tell you, you and I know in March 7th to be exact, I just got this, I don't know if it was a surge of power, and I came to the realization of my purpose.
Yes.
And I shared that with you, and I came to the realization a little further in of the gift that I have. And I expressed that to you of discipline, an inordinate amount of discipline. And so in March, I said, okay, Dr. Kelly, I'm going to start eating on, I'll use the terminology on and off. On my on week,
Yes.
I would eat bean soup, raw milk, organic fruit salad, wheat bread occasionally, but I love, we have a Sister Rachel. Oh my God, the bean bread and the zucchini bread, please stop. Absolutely delicious.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that would be my meal for the whole week. And then on Saturday, I would reward myself maybe with a grilled salmon or something like that to add to that meal. And then on my off week, I would just drink raw milk. And I would drink raw milk the whole week, plus the Celtic salt you prescribe and my immune boost. And that would be it. And of course, water. And that would be it for the whole week. And then I would reward myself at the end of that week with an organic fruit salad, something light, to take me into the next week, which would be a meal. And I've done that for 9 weeks. Mm-hmm. And I just want to say that, and you mentioned this earlier, I heard you saying this to some of the guests, our bodies are going to tell us what time it is.
That's right. And
when it has had enough of something. And so I was telling you during Ramadan, my body said, hey, it's time to move on.
Yes.
Don't hold us back. We need to move on. And so on the 9th of May, I started eating every other day.
Wow.
And I got to tell you, effortlessly, this has been, it's so amazing. And I feel so much in tune with my purpose. Yes. And my purpose, I believe, is to make the word of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and How to Eat to Live that Allah, Master Prophet Muhammad, gave to him, reality and the truth.
Yes.
Because I'm watching this and what I'm going through, and I'm saying, oh my God, this is like, so eating every other day is like, it's not even a problem.
Yes.
It's like my body eats one day and it's like, hey, we need a rest. We're going to rest tomorrow. And then we'll go back to eating again the next day. I also expressed to you the importance, I believe, of that discipline. And that discipline is really what we need to connect ourselves, or as you see behind me, harnessing the God power, within to produce a total change. We have the power to do that in the discipline. And the will is more powerful than the discipline, but the discipline will feed the will.
That's right.
And so that once we get our discipline together about what we're going to do and do it, the will is like a burst of energy. It's like Allah says in the Quran, all he says is be, and
That's right.
it is. And we will have that same God power to just be, and it is in our discipline. So I want to thank you, sir. I have to thank you because every time you and I have a conversation, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And the results when I come back is just absolutely amazing.
Yes. Well, I got to thank you, sister, because, you know, like I say, I mean, I could sit up here, I could talk all day. I have studied a lot over the years. I have a lot to talk about, but it's people like yourself that take what I say and you give me so much confidence. You know, it's people like the four of you today that will take my theory and it's not a theory anymore. I know it now, right? But I'm talking about when I first started doing How to Eat to Live, it was a theory because I was set out to prove the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrong. There's no way this man knows more than I do. All the years I've been in school, I'm about to prove this dude wrong. That's the way I went at it.
Yes.
And now I'm a believer, 100%. And so you have given me the benefit of having an excellent experience, an excellent journey to walk with you. I'm thankful, you know what I mean? And I truly mean that. I'm not saying those things. I wouldn't say it just to say it. You feed me when you and I talk. It's a bilateral feeding. You know, we're feeding each other because I'm watching how it is. I mean, literally, from the first time you and I met to the other meetings, it's like you're glowing more and more and more. And that's what Dr. Elijah Muhammad said. Huh?
Yes, sir. I'd like to share something with you recently. Last Friday past, I went to the doctor. I had the blood work done. So we're waiting for the blood work to come back. So when I go to the doctor, the first thing they do is check for my glucose. And you know, I called your office. Yes. It was 182. And I called your office like, Dr. what's going on? It's 182. How is this possible? I'm eating right. I'm doing everything right. What's going on? So when the doctor, and I want to share this for all of those who have diabetes, when the doctor came into the office, and I said, I'm so shocked, doctor, that this is, my glucose is 182. And she said, well, Sharon, are you dizzy? She was just going down the list of what diabetes do to you at that high glucose level. And I said, no. And I kept saying, no. She said, okay, well, it's your diet. And, you know, your diet is keeping you from experiencing all those things. And I said, wow. I kind of felt bad that I had called your office.
Oh, no.
Yelling and hollering, like, help me. I need to talk to you or something. Yeah. But when I got home, I picked up How to Eat to Live, book 1. And I went into that book on page 30 at the bottom.
That's right.
The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you can control and cure diabetes just by eating the way I have prescribed. And I'm telling you, when I think I wrote that down in quotes.
Yeah, I'm about to read it for you. We're gonna quote him. We're gonna quote him exactly. Here it is. Page 30, and it goes into page 31 in book 1. Sir. Sugar diabetes can be controlled and cured if you only eat correctly. Stay off sugar and starchy foods and leave those old white potatoes alone. French fry eaters, potato chip eaters. Do not eat spaghetti and macaroni at every meal. If you are overweight, do not eat it at any meal. And if you want to live a long time, do not eat it at any meal. Foods such as spaghetti and macaroni are processed, not cooked thoroughly, and are hard to digest.
Absolutely.
Listen, the fact that you mentioned that is amazing. You know why? Because that's one of the statements that he made. When the first day that I read How to Eat to Live as a physician, after 7 years being a physician, it was at that page, maybe a couple later, that I put the book down. I said in the first 30-something page of this book, he said you can cure diabetes without medicine. I thought that was a lie. You could cure 90% of your ills with fasting. I was like, who in the hell ever said anything like that? And that you could solve chronic medical problems in months or years. I went out to prove the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrong when I read those statements.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I was so shocked and so overwhelmed and so excited when I got home. And I was like, wow, Sharon, you're controlling this.
Yes.
And, you know I have it because of my weight. And by the way, I did lose, and my doctor was so pleased. She was like, wow, you lost 15 pounds, Sharon. But it's not.
So you got rid of all that 11 plus on,
Yeah,
right?
it used to go up and down, up and down,
Yes.
up and down. I used to be like, oh man, this is not happening. But now it's just coming down, coming down. It's not, and I'm not even worried about it, but it's just coming down. And I'm like, wow. And it has to do with how to eat to live. I'm
Yes.
telling you, if I can bear witness to anything, I can bear witness to this.
Yes.
It works. Allah's promise, Master Father Muhammad's promise to us to make all things new in us
That's right.
is an actual fact. I feel like I'm being made brand
That's
new.
right. That's
And
right.
it's so amazing, and I love it. I love it.
Yes. And I want to say this, and I want you to comment on this. I was just thinking about this today. Brothers and sisters, if you know anybody, have a family member, or you yourself say something like, I'm in cancer remission and I'm in a good place.
Mhm.
That's not a good place to be. Cancer remission just means that the cancer hasn't been cured.
Yes.
Your immune system has been destroyed by the chemotherapy, and it's just a matter of time before it comes back and haunts you.
Yes.
I and Sister Sharon had conversations where I said that doing the type of work that she is doing, I'm not God, so I can't make any guarantees, but I believe the work that she is doing, she will not have to worry about cancer returning.
Yes.
Because the way that she has changed her eating habits, the way that she has been disciplined,
Yes.
right? She talked about gaining 11 pounds. Why did I ask her not to change her eating habits when we first got together? Because it wouldn't have taught her anything.
Right.
When
Exactly.
people first come to me, everybody wants to change right then. But that's not always necessarily the right thing to do. Sometimes the right thing to do is to evaluate where you are. And then why did you get where you are? What was the psychological? What was the physical? What was the mental?
Right.
What are the stress factors? What are the things that got you into this bad place?
Yes.
And then you start looking at the things, you start getting your own confirmations. Dr. Keely doesn't have all the answers. Sometimes you have the answer. And when you do your own food diary, when you do your own prayer, you do your own meditation at night, you do your own just thinking about yourself sometimes, you'll come up with just as many answers as I will come up with.
Yes.
But that's the beauty of this, is that the same things that you are doing that's bringing you confidence in all these other areas are going to bring you confidence that 10 years, 15, 30 years from now, you're not going to be one of these people that's going to have cancer come back. Because this is what I tell everybody who has had cancer and got chemotherapy or surgery. What did you do different? Because if you haven't changed your lifestyle,
Right.
what is going to stop the cancer from coming back when it came the first time?
Absolutely.
And you're in a weaker stage now. So what would you say to that concern? Because as you started the conversation, you said you had 10 surgeries and you have had breast cancer and you've had chemotherapy and radiation. What does what you've gone through over the last few months done for your confidence going into the future? You found your passion, you're working on these things.
Yeah.
What is your envision for yourself going in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. I can tell you right now, first of all, I'm 13 years up from not having cancer, and I owe it to How to Eat to Live.
Yes.
Because over the years, I struggled, but I struggled with How to Eat to Live. And so I got good, I fell, got good, I fell, and it was a constant. But I have to tell everyone who has experienced cancer or are afraid of getting it, you know, the How to Eat to Live, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, we could cure a lot of disease just eating every other day, or
That's right.
even eating one meal a day,
That's right.
allowing our bodies to rejuvenate itself. And for me, this is one of the reasons why I believe I'm born to do what's behind me.
Yes.
And that is to watch myself at 125 hopping around here and running 10 miles and, you know, and being very young.
Yes.
You know, when I finished chemotherapy and, you know, the God really protected me. I'm telling you, How to Eat to Live kept me from December 19th to April 4th being able to rejuvenate, to take the next thing. But that doesn't happen when you're not following, you know, a plan or a diet that is How to Eat to Live, because people, you know, you get sores in your throat, you can't eat no more, you know, you go through all of these different changes. And because of How to Eat to Live, I would only just get a sniffle. And I remember my oncologist was like, I just got finished seeing patients, they're complaining about this, that, and this. And the only thing that you have a complaint about is how to stop your sniffle. And I was like, yep, please help me stop the sniffle. Yes. But I didn't do radiation because my body just said we had enough. I mean, it was totally destroyed. My immune system, bad and good, was just gone. Yeah. And so when I went to the radiation doctor, and he was telling me about how I could live longer, I can keep cancer from coming back a lot longer. And I asked him one question. I said, well, what's the alternative to what you're telling me about right now? What's the other way I can get cancer to stay away longer? And I'm just giving it to you straight.
Yes.
He told me to change my diet. And I told him, thank you very much. I don't need radiation.
Right.
And I walked out.
Yes.
I just want to say to your listening audience, Dr. Kelly, that if you don't believe in something, you cannot achieve it.
That's right.
So if you don't believe How to Eat to Live can really heal you, then you can't achieve the goal of it. You have to read it.
Yes.
And read what he's saying don't do and what he's saying to do. And you'll come to find out that what he is telling us to do, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, is very natural.
That's right.
It's natural to who we are.
That's right.
So why not do it? And when
simple,
I say, when I say this is effortless, it's effortless for me to eat one meal every other day. You know, it was effortless for me to eat the way I was eating from drinking milk for one whole week. And it was effortless because I realized that I had an ordinance of discipline in me. I've always had it, even as a little girl. I discovered it in college, but I've always had it. And so I just grabbed it back and said, you know
that's
what?
Right.
This is me. This is what I can do.
Yes.
And I wanted to move forward to show that this is what I could do. And I started eating that way because I got to get me healthy.
Yes.
If I plan to live 125 years or more.
That's right. That's right.
So I thank you, sir. I
plan on being at your 125th birthday party too. That's for sure.
Oh, praises to Allah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much for coming on, sister. I look forward to us continuing working together.
Absolutely. And
I'm going to tell you, brothers and sisters, this for sure. Everybody on the show today is wonderful. Their testimony is beautiful. In addition, I think we're going to have her back because she got some plans. She got some ideas that she's dropped on me.
Yes.
We're going to have to hear some more from her down the line. So, sister, absolutely. I pray that Allah continues to bless you, strengthen you, and may you achieve everything that comes to your mind. Be and it is.
Yes, sir. There you go.
Man.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Assalamu alaikum.
Well, brothers and sisters, I pray that you enjoyed that. A couple of shout outs. I'm going to bring my brother Eric up in here. Sister Leroy, I see you up in here. Thank you for coming in. Sister Jacqueline. I don't know if you heard the story I told about you, Sister Jacqueline, coming down here and getting my wife all back pumped up. I sure appreciate you. Brother James, thank you, my brother. Faithful supporter, Deanna Muhammad. Praise be to Allah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Brother Eric, my brother, I appreciate your patience with me, bro. Had to get these testimonies out. What is going on here? Brothers and sisters, can you still hear me? Can you still see? Let me know, please. I need a lake. Give me just a second, Brother Eric. Trying to get you in. If y'all can hear me, give me a few minutes. Just a minute. There we go. Scrolling on my Zoom, so give me just a second. Well, anyway, while I'm waiting for this to come back up, I just want to show you all something real quick. I was talking to you all about Black Stream that I'm going to be using. I did it last week, but here is a link. If you all see that, I just put in there blackstream.live /TUWG, the Ultimate Wellness Group. Sister Jeanette said, I sound like I'm so motivated. Praise be to Allah. That's right. That's the reason why I always like to do these shows, because I want all of you to see the reality of what I'm seeing, right? And those of you who are watching the show, if you believe you are motivated, imagine what you think is going on with me as the person who believes it, but I'm watching these people solve these problems. Like you all heard everybody tonight talk about how they worked hard and then these problems started to go away, right? A lot of things improved. I do not know what's going on with Zoom. Do I have you now? Oh, the audio is connecting. You're on mute, my brother.
Can you
You're on mute.
hear me now?
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
I'm sorry, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful, my brother. How about yourself?
We are fine by the grace and mercy of the God, brother, and ever thankful for his blessing, protection, and mercy, brother. Good to see your face.
Yes, sir. Good to see yours as well, bro. We ain't seen each other in a minute, man. Only through these video chats, huh? So look, we're running a little late behind, bro. So I apologize. I appreciate your patience. Let's just get right into it, bro. You are here because we have a mutual, I would say, a mutual benefit that we have been linked to, and that is the ImmunoBoost products. I first would like to ask you, what is your testimony of using the products yourself? But there,
Perennial neuropathy. Years of using the product, I went from having pain, heat, flashes, joint pain, 120%.
you're kind of going in and out, bro.
With the other. Can you?
You're kind of staticky and kind of can hear you sometimes, and then other times I can't.
Do this. Let's. I'm in a bad area, and I don't want to waste the time. So let's just. I can't get anywhere else because I'm out on the road. So let's try to do it for another time, and then I'll be stationary. I told you I'll be traveling. I stopped
Okay.
at the place that I had the best signal I could find.
Well, I can hear you good now. That what it happened, right?
Hey, look, let's move the car 6 inches. Let's see what happens. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. I can hear you fine now. Your picture's not
Okay.
moving, but I can hear you well.
Oh, okay. The picture stuck too, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, so my perennial neuropathy was going on from my accident where I was completely paralyzed for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
3 years ago when we got together and got the product, I don't suffer from neuropathy anymore. And I don't suffer from the osteoarthritis that I used to suffer from.
Right.
So those are the two things that I know from my own testament of what it is. And of course, the repair of my body, the atrophy of the muscles, and all the things that you would deal with any type of inflammation no longer exist as it relates to my issues.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. For those of you who don't know the connection, Brother Eric is the reality behind naturesv.com. And he has been a part of distributing ImmunoBoost products probably longer than I have. And I've been doing it since 2017. And so we have seen a lot. And I think you all have heard me say before that I don't push anything for money. I push ImmunoBoost, the first product ever in my 26 years of practicing medicine, because it's the only thing that I've seen work so beautifully. And it has the need for us to talk about it because it can help boost you. And so we have used it, and Brother Eric and I have had many conversations. I remember actually the day that I was actually driving down a highway and he was telling me about his experience with his joint pains. And so it was pretty amazing. What other kind of things have you seen, bro? Some amazing testimonies, because I know you've done some wonderful videos, but what other kind of illnesses, and then talk about the autoimmune group that you put together. There. Well, all right. If you can hear me, bro, it's breaking up again. Let's do it. Let's do it another time, bro. I don't want to end the show like this. We had a great show today. Me and you will come back and do a show, just me and you. All right. I'll touch base with you, Brother Eric. So brothers and sisters, you'll have to tune in another day so we can talk about this immunoboost. I just wanted to quickly say that there are multiple products in the immunoboost line, right? There's immunoboost 100, which we use for many different, all of them can be used for many different things, but immunoboost 100 is what we use mostly for viral infections. Immunoboost 19 is what we use for a lot of different things, but things that may have an underlying bacterial infection to them. For anybody that's in autoimmune disorders, I typically use either 19 or I use OU7, which is Ohua Akai 7, which is a combination of products which I use in cancer, autoimmune disorders, and anything else that's like really, really severe in a person that they just really need a good boost. Okay, so we just wanted to talk that. I wanted today to be about the beauty of what can empower all of you that listen, all of you that support the Ultimate Wellness Group. And if there's anything that you are struggling with, for you to come out of today, like Sister Jeanette mentioned, I'm motivated. That's what I want you to be, motivated that you can get to a better place than having a problem that causes you physical, mental, psychological deterioration, right? And so continue to come back, continue to support the Ultimate Wellness Group. Catherine Muhammad says, what is the difference between ImmunoBoost and Paximune? The only difference that I know of, sister, is that ImmunoBoost is a product that is made bovine, right? Bovine is the same as cow, but that's a product. And that doesn't mean that I'm saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying that that's the difference that I know of. I have not studied Paximune. I don't know a lot about it other than some just general things, so I couldn't really talk about it. But what I do know is a lot about ImmunoBoost because, again, I've been using it for approximately going into 5 years now and have seen some wonderful things. So there is a video. If you go to my Ultimate Wellness Group on YouTube or actually it is on the Ultimate Wellness Group on Facebook as well. There is a lung health where Brother Victor and I discussed the differences between what he knows about Paximune and the ImmunoBoost product. So if you're interested, you can go to that video. The discussion starts at minute number 38, and we discuss the differences there a little bit. Donita Lake, wow, would you like to order products? Wow, I guess you were saying how. Yeah, just call us at the office and we can get that order for you. Lee's guidance has helped me to better follow how to eat to live. Thank you, sir, and thanks for the show. Thank you, ma'am, Sister Leroya. I pray that you're going to come on the show because I know you got some good things to share with us as well. And you are welcome, Sister Catherine. So that's it for the show tonight, brothers and sisters. I pray that you enjoyed it. I pray that you got some news that you can use. I pray that the testimonies of the people that came tonight empowered you and makes you know that you can do it as well, right? It does take some understanding. We do have to get some actual facts, but you can solve the problems. And that's why I always mention the 3 things that basically slapped me into life when I read How to Eat to Live for the first time. How to Eat to Live, book 1. By the time I got to page 35, I had to put the book down, and I put it down for a few days. And in those first 35 pages, he had me questioning just about everything I had learned in all the years in school. And so it is a powerful book. It's a beautiful book. It's a very easy read. And we, as people who want to decipher through the cesspool that is social media, the cesspool that is medical information and the medical industry, this is where I would suggest that you start with How to Eat to Live. Read the simple words, follow the simple instructions, and watch how you will start to get some benefits. And then if you need help of your brother, just reach out. Okay. The numbers in the chat section. The website is theultimatewellnessgroup.com. We are here to help serve you on your health or healing journey. So thank you for tuning in to the Ultimate Wellness Group Transformation Testimonial Tuesday. And next week, there will not be a show because there is another COVID panel that I think is going to be pretty interesting. So I'm going to spend time next week watching that, studying that, and then we'll come back in 2 weeks and we'll discuss that show based on what I heard, based on the information that I gather, because I think it's time for us to understand that with all of this vaccine stuff that's going on, we have to continue to process what has been happening since this started, what can we take away from it, and how we can continue to go forward and be comfortable. Understand that we have divine instructions. And until those divine instructions change, Dr. Keeley is going to stand on those divine instructions. And I'm speaking none other than the instruction that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan told us, and that was to stay in shelter in place and to continue to wear your mask and go out when you need to, but don't go in large public gatherings and don't get back into intermingling without protecting yourself. And so that's what I'm going to stand on. That's what I'm doing. And so if that's what I'm doing, my track record is that I offer you what I do. Okay. So let's stay safe. Let's keep working on our health. Keep working hard on your health. And in a couple of weeks, we'll be back to have another wonderful show. So you all enjoy the rest of your evening and also the rest of your week. All right. Peace.